Thank you for having me here. Yeah, finally some smart green energy company which backs smart green startups, which is the Statkraft Group. It's still Europe's biggest producer of renewable energies. That we hope that changes after some startups will rise. We are not just looking at the energy space, but really at the fringes of the energy space, moving into mobility, IoT, predictive maintenance, industrial stuff. So we look basically what's influencing the energy sector of the future. And that's basically, we think, the perfect space for startups to grow in. Our mission is pretty simple, 5 pillars. We invest in Series A growth stage startups. Means you have proof of concept, you have a first product which you can scale, and you are actually looking for money. And we usually provide startups with 1 to 4 million euros. The startups should be in Europe because we think it has a vibrant startup ecosystem. And we usually invest as a lead investor with a value add, which I will explain a bit more later on. And we usually invested as a lead investor on our portfolio companies so far, with partners with or other financially driven funds which trust us on our decisions. Yeah, we had a lot of talks about the shades of gray in a corporate venture capital business. And I tried to build that again with 5 pillars here. We have seen a lot of opportunistic corporate investors, strategic investors. And on the other hand, you have the pure financial VCs. And we actually try to combine these 2 worlds and take the best out of both worlds. Because we try to invest purely on financial terms, means we are exit-oriented, like every financial VC, but doing the decision informed with having a lot of expertise in the energy sector, having a focus on the energy sector and the fringes around, and having a network within Statkraft Group as well. There is basically a PhD for everything, but we can do the decisions alone within our investment team. And I think that's, in our opinion, a very unique setup that you have with our fund. Why Sweden? Yeah, it's a triple eco. I brought it to the formula because if you do simple maths, it's relatively straightforward that Jan shows up with his team here in Stockholm. Sweden is number 5 when it comes to the sheer mass of startups, number 4 when it comes to startups with relevant funding, and even more important, number 2 in unicorns. And that means you have a relevant set of people which can consult the founders and the startups here, and also back those startups in the first rounds where you don't have the VCs joining because it's too much risk. And you need business angels, you need seed funds, which you have here. Second pillar, ecologic. Sweden has a lot of clean tech startups and startups around this clean tech sector. We have seen a couple of today. I think that's quite impressive. And now you have finally Ecosummit here as well. Although it's number 5, we think it's number 1 location of all Ecosummits. Our team is small but beautiful. We have the German-based company Tado, which works on smart thermostats. I think a lot of you know that company. That was our first investment. Swiss-based Depsys, which I need to explain shortly. That's a company focusing on low voltage grids and bringing transparency to those low voltage grids. We have heard a lot of today about EVs and solar roofs and stuff like that. And all of that stuff pushes a lot of stress to the low voltage grids. And those guys try to model and analyze the low voltage grids and even control them in future settings. Then we have Greenbird, which is a Norwegian company. They work on smart meter data or sensor data because you have a lot of data which is coming online, and you simply have to work with all that data, integrate all that data. And Greenbird is working as an integration layer as a software system to utilities, grid operators, which have to work with this sheer mass of data, and also connect it to the back-end systems like SAP or so. And then our new investment is LimeJump. It's a UK-based company, and that's actually a company to replace the old-fashioned utilities, we think, because they work in the magic triangle of generation, demand, and storage. And they actually can offer the full service of revenue generation for independent power producers or power demand or power storage owners, which most of the time have no clue about energy markets. And LimeJump can simply help those guys to generate and maximize revenues with an intelligent software stack and a lot of automation down to billing. Yeah, the team behind the team is a mixture of the relevant skill sets, which we think, which is on one hand the venture capital business, which is Matthias, which does that for a couple of years or decades. Stefan Hülsen and Stefan Funk being founders themselves before, so they bring a lot of founders' expertise to the team. And myself, I worked the last 10 years in the energy industry, power trading, dispatching power plants, building the biggest virtual power plant in Europe, 10 gigawatts big. So we have a team of diverse backgrounds, but a team which can probably decide on good business cases and help to grow startups afterwards. That's it, and I think I made it even shorter than planned, but that's probably a nice thing. Thank you.
How much money do you have available to invest?
There's still plenty of. We have a couple of hot deals, which we are about to close, but happy to get in contact with more startups.
Okay.
That's why we are here.
Alexander from Statkraft Ventures, thank you very much for supporting Ecosummit for some.